Hey everybody, what's going on? KSA Chris, doing a quick one. It's pretty early. I actually ended up getting up really early today because my kids decided to kick me out of bed. So here I am, figured I'd come into work, knock down some work before the sun come up, and want to do a quick video. Not sure if you knew, but turns out you can bomb people's reviews online, and it doesn't cost much to actually do it. And how do I know? Because it actually just recently happened to us. We were sitting there minding our own business, and then looked at my phone, and it went absolutely bonkers. Within roughly 2 minutes, 100 one-star reviews popped up on our Facebook business page and took us from a 5-star rating from hundreds of reviews that we've had, that we've been working on for the last couple of years, all the way down to a 2.3. And, it just seemed so odd at first. And then when we started doing research and then talked to a couple friends of ours, turns out, for about $5, you can go on Fiverr. You can go on Fiverr and hire somebody to bomb out somebody's reviews. And the challenge with that is that, reviews are kind of like the new commodity in a lot of ways. I mean, I think it affects us as real estate agents to a point. It's not as bad as, like, let's say if it was a restaurant or something like that, and those reviews are extremely important. I think the biggest challenge for us was, you spend so long working on your presence and your social media, look, feel, reviews, people, clients that you've had, that wrote reviews a long time ago, and literally because somebody paid $5 for whatever reason, whether they don't like you, they don't like that you're ahead, they want to dump out your personal space. And I would even say for us, that was one that might be what it is. I even recently went on a couple listing appointments where literally people are comparing us to other people that they're interviewing based off of what they're finding online. So, it's a very cheap way to get rid of the competition. So, you don't have to compete with them. It's pretty crappy. However, I think it was one of those things. I wanted to do a video to make you aware of it. It is out there. It can happen. So what we ended up doing for us, we're actually capturing all the reviews that we can right now. We're going to throw them in a slideshow, throw them at the top. We're going to put them into our other media spaces and sources. And unfortunately, we're going to have to turn off the review setting on our Facebook business page. And here's why. This is what sucks. Facebook doesn't care. Facebook isn't going to help. Everything that's out there and available, it's a absolute hot mess and a fight to get Facebook to review, to get rid of those negative reviews. So it's a negative review, but they're leaving no comments. So you can't really dispute the specific comment and actually have it removed. If they don't leave a comment and they just leave a review of a 1-star, you can't get rid of it. So you have a choice. Stay with your 2.3 when everybody else in the market is, even if they only got like 3 reviews, have better reviews than you do, and you look like complete garbage, or just turn them off. To us, we don't really view it as something that hurts us. We don't need reviews to look good. I know that's a big thing that a lot of gurus teach. If you don't have reviews, and yeah, reviews are great, but having somebody maliciously pay money to go out of their way to dump us out, we have a choice. Do we start over? We've had this page, this business page, for years. It's a central hub for all of our content that goes out to every one of our agents. So instead of just trying to start over and get bombed again from whoever it was for $5 that didn't, had an issue with us, we're just going to roll with it. Yeah. So how does this happen? You can do it. There's a ton of research. 1-star reviews. What you're going to experience is out of the blue. It started off with like 74 and then went to 100. So if you look it up, you can find a ton of different places where for very, very little money, somebody that's overseas is going to use multiple fake accounts, and they're going to do 1-star reviews up to 100 to completely bomb out somebody's review source on their business page. How do you combat it? Not much you can really do. You can definitely dispute it with Facebook, but from everything I've read, there's only been a couple people that have been sort of successful, and they still aren't successful. So you end up having to turn off your reviews and just taking it. That's pretty much what it is. Unfortunate, but I figured I'd put it out there in case somebody didn't know, or if it happens to you and you're like, holy crap, what just happened? At least you can say, I saw it on the Real Estate Blitz and this is a real thing. It's an unfortunate thing. I think it's sad when and I'm not saying it's another real estate agent, who knows who it was or for what reason, but it's just sad when it comes to a point where people are able to spend about $5. It's free market, and ruin something that has taken somebody years to create and build, and that's one of their main sources on how they feed their family. It's pretty shitty. So for $5, you're hurting my kids because who cares? But you got to roll with it. There's going to be a lot of people in this industry that are really crappy to you if you're successful. There's going to be a lot of people in this industry that are going to try to tear you down. They're going to tell you can't do certain things. They're going to try to tell you what you're doing is wrong. And screw them. You just got to kind of roll with it. You just got to kind of keep pushing. And at the end of the day, do you and just try to just let that stuff roll off you as best you can. However, which I might talk about in a different video. However, there are times to fight. We've had to a couple times where, some people, they just will keep messing with you and you got to turn around and punch them right in the nose. Not physically, but, and let them know you're not going to be picked on. You're not going to be bullied. And usually after that, we had one broker in specific who was going out of their way to screw with us. And it just got to a point to where we thought if we left it alone, the silence would kind of, they'd move on. They didn't. So we turned around and gave it back. They ain't messed with us since. Sometimes it's just what you got to do. But anyways, that's all I got today. Appreciate you. Like, share, comment, don't leave a review. Like, share, comment. Check me out on Facebook. Check me out on Instagram. The Real Estate Blitz. You can also look me up, KSA Chris with a K. On Instagram. You can follow me, kind of my day-to-day happenings and all that jazz. All right, have a good one, everybody. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.